My name is Mike King. I'm an assistant
I want to
professor.
do that every day, so I understand.
I teach criminal justice at Bridgewater State University, and I also teach with College Unbound in ACI Max and ACI Medium. I'm speaking in support of this bill. One of the men who'd be eligible for potential release is a former student of mine. Mario Montero was a student in a course I taught with College Unbound last semester. Mario is extremely intelligent. He thinks and writes at a graduate level. He's composed, he's well-spoken, he chooses his words carefully, he's extremely well-respected by all the other people in the class. And the world dealt Mario from a stacked deck. He also made some serious mistakes as a young man, as a boy, mistakes that he's paid for over the course of the last 2 decades of incarceration. I think that he should be given a second chance to show that the man that he's made himself into is not the same as the boy who made a tragic mistake almost 20 years ago. I previously served as an advisor to a group of juvenile lifers in the state of California. And California, about 7 years ago, passed a bill very similar to this bill, SB 9, which kind of saw people who had been sentenced as juveniles to life or to extremely long terms in this same time period of kind of tough on crime, early 1990s, super predator discussions about youth criminals, the folks who had kind of been a similar boat as Mario, and that in the passage of that legislation, about a dozen of the people that I worked with over those years that I was in California got parole, and they're out. They're going to college, they're employed, they have families, they've reunited with their families that they left when they were incarcerated, and they've all been successful. I haven't heard of any stories where anybody got reincarcerated. The name of that group in San Quentin was KidCat, Kids Creating Awareness Together, and they still have some members inside in the California system. And so, a generation ago, can try and speak a little bit to where this came from. A generation ago, early 1990s, there was an effort to be very punitive with juveniles and trying to send a message through harsh penalties of the threat of potential life incarceration for violent crimes, typically, in an effort to stem what was a very high rate of homicides all throughout the country. And for a variety of different reasons, including the fact that juveniles' brains don't develop fully until they're 25, that deterrent effect and that punitiveness doesn't necessarily function to decrease those types of crimes. The type of kid who's going to murder his next door neighbor at the age of 8 and do other atrocious things is probably not going to be deterred by an extra level of punitiveness if he were to get caught. And so while kind of the context in which these laws and these sentencing procedures were passed are clearly over 2 decades past, the society that we're in now, I mean, clearly the Supreme Court's ruling, the fact that I believe there's one other country that sentences juveniles to life without parole in the world, all of these things have kind of prompted this legislation before you today. I believe that juvenile offenders deserve a second chance. And I feel that denying them the second chance does not keep our communities safer, and that it does not deter crime, and that it doesn't serve society's interests. And I don't believe that it's beneficial to the cause of justice. Thank you.